Simonas, it's great seeing you again. Thank you so much for taking time to speak to us.
Thanks for having me here again.
It's always a pleasure. For those who have not had the pleasure of meeting you, just briefly tell us who you are and what you do.
So I'm a board member at the Central Bank, which is a supervisory authority, and I'm in charge of financial sector supervision and market operations.
All right, that's great. Now, help us understand, why are the Baltics such an attractive region for fintech startups to set up and grow?
You know, success is not an accident. It requires deliberate actions and consistency, both from the private sector and from the public sector, to foster the growth of the ecosystem. And you need to do step forward every day, otherwise you fall back. So I think what we really have, we have a very close dialogue between the public and private sector, a very open dialogue. Sometimes it's a bit sharp, but I think we go into the discussion and we say expectations both from private sector to the public and from public to the private, and finally we agree to move forward and we deliver on that. So that's one thing. Another thing is I think that the strategic direction of the country, of the government, is not changing. So we have had 3 different governments over the last 8 years, and everyone, all of them, they have a point to foster the growth, high quality growth, with the fine risk balance for the fintech sector.
Right.
So governments are changing from right to the left to the center, but the strategic direction to have one of the best or the best fintech ecosystem in Europe does not change. So that obviously helps. And last but not least, obviously Lithuania and the Baltics, we are famous for for high human capital, skills, infrastructure, which is a great place to create a new company and to have a growing company. And numbers speak by themselves. In Lithuania, our financial institutions, they have more than 30 million clients across Europe.
Wow.
So 3 million country and 30 million of clients, which is more than 10% of the whole population of European Union. If we talk about adults. We have the largest digital bank in Europe, headquartered in Lithuania, if we talk about the number of clients. So we have good results, and of course, success leads to success, but you need to work on that every day and to move forward.
Right, very compelling facts indeed. Now, help me understand, how has the Bank of Lithuania balanced a strong regulatory capability with innovation?
First thing, we regulators, we are not afraid of new things and new technologies. So we are very open for different things. We have regulatory sandbox and other instruments, a newcomer program to try to taste these new things and to try it out, rather than to avoid it. So that's one thing. Again, we have a very close dialogue with the market players. So we try to tell our expectations beforehand, what we expect in terms of regulations, how the regulations could evolve over time. Obviously, the market gives their feedback, and at the end of the day, we try to move forward. One more example, we have a quite unique, public-private partnership for AML excellence. So we have a separate institution, a public-private partnership owned by financial sector and public sector at the same time, which is specifically dedicated to increase the knowledge of the whole market on all sort of AML regulations, which is obviously evolving over time quite quickly. So we try to help the ecosystem to grow, try to help them to make a risk management in a proper way. And also, if we see that someone is not playing under the rules, we act decisively as well. And I think that's also the benefit for the benefit of the market health in general.
We're here in Lithuania, which is like the largest fintech hub in Europe. What's next for Lithuania and the Baltics in ensuring that they continue to attract top talent and top fintech companies to settle in the region?
We have a good start, so that's a first good thing. We have a good base, the ecosystem, like you mentioned. We have a lot of companies, a lot of small and big companies as well. But obviously, we need to move forward if we want to stay on top. I think we have a good opportunity. The strategic shift in Europe on simplification of whole regulatory environment. I guess it's another opportunity for Europe, but also for the Baltics as well. We could lead by example. We could be a front runners in initiating, some changes for the regulatory environment on a European level, and trying new business models. We have a new, MiCA regulation just came into force a few months ago, and here is again a new business area will be evolving, and again Baltics could deliver on that as well. So I think we should concentrate on what we can do best, and as small countries we were flexible, we can move much faster than big ones, and we should use that opportunity.
I think you said something very key here, leading by example, and I think definitely the Baltics are role modeling how these public-private partnerships should work for the rest of Europe and for the rest of ecosystems in the world.
Obviously, I think it's very important to have this dialogue between public and private sector, and not just dialogue for the sake of dialogue, but also try to find the optimal solutions. To have the courage to test things, and to have the courage to say if something went wrong, and of course to foster and improve what is working.
Indeed. Now we're just less than a month away from the Baltic Fintech Days, which will be hosted here in Vilnius. For those people who have not yet had the opportunity to experience the buzz of the fintech development environment and ecosystems here in the Baltics, what would you tell them so that they would come and see it for themselves?
I believe, facts speak for themselves. Lithuania and the Baltics in general is the most dynamic fintech ecosystem in Europe. If we speak about, digital banks, e-money institutions, now crypto sector is also entering the financial regulatory world, and we also have quite a number of companies in this field. So if you want to see, what is really happening, what kind of new business models are evolving, and how you can have a role model of the public and private partnership, I think Lithuania and Baltics is the place you come and see that.
It's all very exciting indeed. Simonas, thank you so much for taking the time. It's always a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks.